Amcazade Köprülü Hüseyin Pasha of the Koprulu family, was the Grand Vizier of the Ottoman Empire under Mustafa II from September 1697 until September 1702. Amcazade Köprülü Hüseyin Pasha was close to ordinary Ottoman Muslim subjects, being a member of the Mevlevi Order. He was known to be concerned with the needs of the common people as well as those of the military and bureaucratic classes. Earlier years. Amcazade Huseyin was born in 1644 and was the son of Hassan-Aga Köprülü, the brother of Koprulu Mehmed Pasha, and for this reason he has the cognomen of Amcazade. We have little of his youth and education. His father had agricultural estates at the Turkish village of Kozluca in present-day Bulgaria, and young Huseyin spent his youth there. He must have had a good Ottoman classical scribal or military education, because when he is first mentioned he is a staff officer. He participated at the campaign for siege of Vienna at 1683, as a high staff officer in the Ottoman army, since Ottomans were commanded by the Grand Vizier Mevlevi Order.He Mustafa Pasha, who was his close relative. After the defeat of Ottomans at the Battle of Vienna and retreat to Belgrade, Mevlevi Order Mustafa was executed and Amcazade Huseyin was arrested because of his close relationship to the executed commander. In 1684 he was released from prison, but was sent away from the seat of power as an administrator of provinces with the rank of Beylibi. First he was appointed as guard governor of Kardak near Gallipoli at the Dardanelles Straits, then he was given the rank of vizier and given a similar but more prestigious job at Sedulbahir. In 1691 for a time he was appointed as the temporary governor of Istanbul and returned to his main job on Dardanelles. On 1694 he was appointed the Kapıdam Pasha and was instrumental with the help of Mustafa Huseyin Pasha in retaking of Chios from the Venetians. In 1695, for this success he was appointed the governor of Chios. In 1696 he was again appointed as the temporary governor of Istanbul, but soon was sent to the post of governorship of Belgrade. In August 1697 the Ottoman army under the command of Sultan Mustafa II was on the campaign against the Austrians and came to Belgrade. In a war council planning on what to do next, Amcazade Huseyin Pasha proposed that the Ottoman army should go and put under siege the fortress of Virajdan. However, others argued that it should go towards Temesvar. The proposal was accepted and the Ottoman army was surprised and routed at the Battle of Zenta. His daughter married Gavinoz Ahmed Pasha, who was Grand Vizier for a short time in 1703. Years as Grand Vizier. Amcazade Köprülü Hüseyin Pasha was appointed the Grand Vizier on 17 September 1697, just after the disastrous Ottoman defeat at Battle of Zenta on 11 September 1697. He was given a promise by the Sultan that he would be free agent in his government of the empire with no interference by the Sultan. It was hoped that during the negotiations for peace to take place at Karlowitz, he could use family ability to get best possible terms for the ending of the long war against the Holy League of 1684, a coalition of European powers including the Habsburg monarchy, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Republic of Venice and Peter I of Russia. After long months of negotiations, the Treaty of Karlowitz was signed on 26 January 1699. The Ottomans ceded to the Habsburg monarchy all of the Ottoman province of Hungary, including Transylvania, which was conquered after 1526. Podolia was returned to Poland and most of Dalmatia, and Morea passed to Venice. With the heavy loss of professional soldiers at the Battle of Zenta and the large territories ceded away, it became obvious that Ottoman military system, the financial system and bureaucratic systems sustaining the military and the state had to be reformed. This task fell mainly on the shoulders of the Grand Vizier Amcazade Köprülü Hüseyin Pasha. Amcazade Huseyin started with economic and financial reforms. The excise duties on tobacco and coffee, which had quadrupled during the war to provide finance for military effort, were substantially reduced, and so too the duties on essential consumer goods, for example soap and cooking oil. During the war, special imposition taxes were created, and those who could not pay these extraordinary tax impositions were heavily fined. Amcazade Huseyin abolished these extraordinary tax impositions and issued a tax amnesty on those who were not able to pay and who were required to pay heavy fines. The rates of traditional taxes were adjusted down so that they matched the ability to pay. Debased coins struck during the war were replaced by coins of full value. New cultivators from nomadic Turkomans were induced to settle in places like Urfa, Malatu, Antalya and Cyprus, where the numbers of agricultural peasants had decreased to very low levels. Efforts were made to develop a new manufacturing base in place of devastated Ottoman craft industries and replacing imports from Europe. Amcazade Huseyin then had the salary rolls of the professional army reviewed. The Janissary Corps numbers, which had reached 70,000 men before Treaty of Karlowitz, of which then only 10,000 were actually combatants, were reduced to 34,000 combatants, while the Artillery Corps was reduced from 6,000 to 1,250. There was new recruitment to the Koprulu Huseyin Corps. Similarly, the provincial Timurid Sipahi were reformed by eliminating bribery and making sure that they were properly maintained and trained. The navy was also reorganized under the command of Mustafa Huseyin Pasha, who was a close ally of Amcazade Huseyin. At last, a new fleet of wind-driven galleons replaced the oar-driven galleys. The naval officers and personnel were also fully reorganized, creating a complete hierarchy of officers. The lower-ranked galleon men were properly and regularly housed in barracks, paid well, and even the retirement was thought of for the first time in Ottoman Navy. Finally, the bureaucracy of scribes of the central government and of the palace was reorganized, retiring old inefficient scribes and introducing new ones trained at new scribal schools. The Sultan was very much affected by the defeat at Battle of Zenta, where he was personally present. Giving Amcazade Huseyin a free hand in governing his realm, he retreated to a court life, not in Istanbul but in the old Plaquet in Edirne. His close advisor was his old teacher, a cleric called Feyzullah Effendi, who he appointed as the Sheikh al-Islam. Soon Feyzullah Effendi became the effective voice of the Sultan. As soon as the effects of Treaty of Karlowitz over, Feyzullah Effendi collected around him a clique of relatives and allies, started appointing them to key state posts, and became the center of intrigues against the Grand Vizier Amcazade Huseyin. Feyzullah Effendi had his son Fethullah Effendi given an appointment that would have given him the post of Sheikh al-Islam when his father left the post. The appointment of a Sheikh al-Islam by dynastic rules was totally unprecedented, but Amcazade Huseyin had little choice in the matter. For then onwards, whenever the state under Amcazade Huseyin started affecting adversely his interests, Feyzullah Effendi was able to intervene and stop the application of such a policy. In July 1701, Mustafa Huseyin Pasha, who was an ally of Amcazade Huseyin, died, and the delicate power balance between Istanbul and Edirne tipped towards Feyzullah Effendi in Edirne. This frustrated Amcazade Huseyin Pasha so much that his serious illness is attributed to this helplessness. After that illness in September 1702, Amcazade Huseyin Pasha resigned from the post of Grand Vizier. He went to live in his estate at Silivri, near Istanbul. Before the end of the year he died at his estate. He was buried at Aturbia, the district of Sarajnabasi, in Istanbul. An able administrator and unimportant reformer, he demonstrated again the ability of a member of the Koprulu dynasty in holding the Ottoman power intact after a big crisis. But at the end he was driven from office by a powerful cleric. One of the oldest wooden coastal mansions on the Bosphorus near the first suspension bridge is the partial remains of one belonging to him called the Koprulu Amcazade Köprülü Hüseyin. It is claimed that Amcazade Köprülü reviewed the final negotiated copy of the Treaty of Karlowitz at this leftover part of the mansion.